The world contains over 85 seas, some which include the Mediterranean Sea, the Black Sea, and the Caspian Sea. But there's one sea that truly stands out from the rest, and that is the Dead Sea. But what makes the Dead Sea truly different from all the other seas?
Well, it comes down to two factors, its scientific and cultural value. So let's dive in a little deeper. The Dead Sea you probably know of is in fact not a sea, but a lake, and a hypersaline lake at that. In a normal lake, water enters and then it's drained out. In a hypersaline lake, water enters and never leaves, except for when it's evaporated. As water flows down a river or a mountainside, it picks up minerals or salts. Since the minerals have nowhere to go, they just remain in the lake. This in turn makes the lake more salty, and why the Dead Sea has such a high salinity. This as well is why the Dead Sea gets its name. Since the salt levels are so high, it's almost impossible for any organism to live in the Dead Sea. If fish were flown down from the River Jordan into the Dead Sea, they would be killed instantly. Only a small number of plants have adapted to live near the less salty banks of the river and sea. There's only one organism that lives in the Dead Sea, and it is a single type of algae. To continue our theme on salt, let's talk about density. Water without salt's density is 1 gram per cubic centimeter. But when you add salt to water, something happens to its density. Salt raises the density of water depending on how much salt there is. Since we know the Dead Sea is supersaturated with salt, we know that its density is very high. This allows for many unique stuff to happen there. It is literally impossible for a person to drown in the Dead Sea. Some people take advantage of this by relaxing. Now that we have talked about the science of the Dead Sea, let's continue on to the culture. One of the many beliefs of the Dead Sea is that its minerals hold healing and medical powers. Famous legends such as King David and Cleopatra have been to the Dead Sea in search of these minerals. People today still go to the spas around the areas to get them as well. And the amazing thing is, this treatment actually works. The minerals have been shown to treat psoriasis, eczema, and even acne. The area around the Dead Sea also holds a large religious presence since it's the location where Jesus was baptized. The Dead Sea is also the location of the Dead Sea Scrolls. These scrolls are documents detailing how life was during the time of Christ and also contain original Bible texts. Northwest of the Dead Sea is the oldest town of the world, Jericho. Scientists believe people have been living here since 9700 BC. Jericho has also been the site of many conquests. From the Egyptians, to the Greeks, to the Ottoman Empire, and many more. Now that we've learned everything about the Dead Sea, let's review. The Dead Sea is in fact not a sea, but a lake. It has a very limited way of getting water out of it, and thus this makes it salty. This salt makes it almost impossible for anything to live in the Dead Sea. You can float in the Dead Sea because the salt raises the density of the water. People believe that the minerals of the Dead Sea help treat medical issues. The Dead Sea is home to some of the world's biggest biblical events, and is home to the world's oldest city. All of this combined makes the Dead Sea a truly unique place in our world.